Now we're going to try and look a little closer at some of the different ways of understanding a poem. So, what do we have here? We have the title, which we've talked about a little. We have the tone and mood. So, how does the poem come across? What is the expression? How are we supposed to take the poem? How does it communicate through indirectly? We know that there's a lot of silly combinations of words and ideas, so we can't take it too seriously, can we? It's light-hearted. There's definitely nonsense, the birds flew off to the end of next week. We can't take that seriously, can we? So it's light-hearted, it's an upbeat mood, it's supposed to be funny. Although there are a few hidden possibly suggestions of seriousness, but we're not going to look too deep, because look at the first stanza. Look at the second and fourth line. There was, full stop. This is kind of telling us, don't look too deeply. Because, full stop. Don't look too deeply. So this is saying, keep it on the surface. Come with me, So let's look at the next section, the structure or the typography. Here we have poems with real shapes, but we don't have that here. We have 2 or 3 stanzas. The first one is very short and simple, in a way giving us a way of approaching this poem. Okay, don't look too deeply. But then suddenly the second stanza sort of like does the exact opposite, goes into a lot of detail. It's trying to unpack something. It's trying to explain something that happened. All right. And then what do we mean by sound and rhythm? We talked about the vocabulary that had a lot to do with musical instruments. Obviously sound is always important in a poem. And look at the rhyming. It's AA. Look at the second stanza. Life, wife, soul, whole, sing, thing. AA, BB, CC, DD. It's also a bit silly. Poems don't have to rhyme. But when they do, with kind of like nonsensical combinations for the sake of rhyming, that's another encouragement to take things lightly. Okay. The rhythm, I think you should explore this by reading it to yourself, even if you're alone. Just read it, have fun with it. Imagine that you're teaching the poem. How would you read it to other children? How would you read it to a small child? Experiment. Tell me what you think the rhythm is. The rhythm is, it's where the stress in the word falls, or where the stress in the line falls. It's like music. So think of rap music. Where does the music fall? Where's the beat? So you're going to explore that by reading it to yourself. Then we've got language, literal and figurative, and imagery. So here we're going to look at, are there any words which sort of have an indirect meaning? Okay, I know the poem is in a way encouraging us to stay on the surface, but are any words suggesting a deeper meaning or an indirect meaning? Okay, serpenting is already a kind of suggestion of a different meaning, because no such word exists. So what are they trying to say there? It doesn't have to be deep, but it's unusual. A serpent with a soul. What are they trying to say there? Do serpents have souls? Do animals have souls? What's unusual about this snake? Because snakes normally find a wife who is also a snake. But this snake is doing something unusual, isn't he? He seems to be trying to attract a bird, which is like crazy. Snakes don't mate with birds, do they? So he's definitely going maybe out of his comfort zone. So I want you to go through the poem. Look for things that are unusual. Look for words that suggest different meanings, indirect meanings. Okay? Have fun.